All right. In this video tutorial, we are going to cover one of my favorite topics in math, which is factoring trinomials. And we're going to look at two ways to factor trinomials. This video is going to cover one of those ways, and the next video that I do is going to cover the second way. So this video is going to cover factoring trinomials, and remember, like a tricycle means 3, and like we discussed in an earlier video in Math Nom, we can think of as terms. So we're going to learn how to factor something with 3 terms. And trinomials typically have the form ax squared plus bx plus c. And in this video, we're going to learn how to factor things when this first coefficient a, when a equals 1. In the second video, we're going to look at how to approach this when a doesn't equal 1. But in this one, we're going to let that first coefficient a, we're going to say, okay, that's 1. So what I'm going to do is talk through our strategy, and we're going to look at how to do it, and then we're going to work through some examples. So what I want to do, because you know I love to keep myself organized, the first thing that I'm going to have us do is draw a T-chart. A T-chart. And our T-chart is going to look like this. It's going to be a table, and in this column we're going to call it factors. Whoop. And in this column we're going to call it sums. And that's going to help keep us organized. So we're going to draw a T-chart. And then step number 2, we're going to list all the factors of our C term. And that C term, the one over here, that's the last term in our trinomial. It's the one that doesn't have a variable, no x. And we're going to do that in this column, in our factors column. Okay, step number 3, in the right column where it says sums, we're going to add up those factors. So you're going to add up all the factors. And you're going to put those sums, those totals, in that column. Okay, and remember, we're just doing it to keep ourselves organized. So, and then step 4 is it's finding which ones you want. So the factors that you want, so the factors that we're looking for are the ones that add up to the B term. The factors you want add to the B term. And remember, the B term, and I'm going to go look up here, the B term is the middle term. It's the one, it doesn't have an x squared, but it has just the variable x. Okay? And then step 5, we're going to finish the problem, is you're going to write your answer in 2 sets of parentheses. And we'll take a look at how to do that. Okay, so we have our process. Now let's look at some examples, because this is going to make more sense when we walk through some examples. So I want to do this problem. I want to do factor, that's my directions, factor. And the problem I'm looking at is x squared minus 2x minus 63. Okay, so step 1, I'm going to draw my T-chart just to keep myself organized. And here, I'm going to do my factors. And here, I'm going to do my sums. Okay, so step 2 is list all the factors of C. So our C term is this one. It's the one that's just a number without a variable. So here I'm going to list factors of, and we have to remember that sign, negative 63. Okay, now we need to remember our multiplication tables. So let's go through this together. What are things that you can multiply together to get negative 63? You can do a negative 3 and a 21. You can do a negative 21 and a 3. Negative 21 times 3 is definitely negative 63. You can do a negative 9 and a positive 7. That equals 63. Or you can flip that negative around and put it on the 7. You could do a negative 7 times a positive 9. That equals 63 too. Okay, so now step 3, add up the factors we just found. So let's do it. Minus 3 plus 21 is a positive 17. Minus 21 plus 3, that's negative 17. And minus 9 plus 7 is a minus 2. And minus 7 plus 9 is a positive 2. Okay, so we are on number 4 now. The factors that you want add to b. Okay, and remember our b is our middle term. So our b is negative 2, and that's the one that we're looking for. And that is this one here. We found it because this is negative 2. So the factors that we want are negative 9 and positive 7. And so you write your answers in 2 sets of parentheses. So you set up your parentheses like this, and it always starts with an x. And then we can use the factors that we found and plug them in, but we have to remember to use the sign. So we have x minus 9 and x plus 7. And this is our answer. The good news is that we can always check it. And because we're multiplying 2 binomials, in order to check it, we can FOIL it. So remember, FOIL is first, outer, inner, last. So let's just check it, make sure we did it right. Multiply our first terms together is x squared. Do our plus sign, multiply our outer signs together is x times 7 is 7x. Multiply our inner signs together is negative 9 and x. So I'm going to put a plus, but I'm going to carry that negative because I have a negative 9x. And then we multiply our last negative 9 times a positive 7 is a minus 63. And you'll notice I like to write a plus and then do my minus. Signs can be really confusing, so I just give myself some time to work them out. So now let's simplify this, make sure I did it right. I have an x squared plus 7. Reserve battery power. I'm going to take this away. Almost done though, that's okay. Plus 7 minus 9, that's a minus 2x. So far so good. And then a plus minus 63 is a minus 63. And then I look, is that the problem that I started out with? It definitely is. So I know that I factored it right. Okay, in the next video we are going to cover factoring trinomials in the form 8x squared plus bx plus c, but that first term is not going to be equal to 1. Hope you guys are having a good day, and if you have any questions, send me an email on my blog, ProfessorCynthia'sCollegeAlgebra.wordpress.com. Have a great day.